It's no secret that many inventions have drastically altered our world today. From the light bulb, the radio, and the sewing machine, to the vacuum cleaner, the television, and the computer. Two inventions in history stick out though, one of which would be the automobile. For years and years, it has helped us commute and travel to many places, long distances away, in a short amount of time. It has also helped us receive and transmit communication a lot faster. Speaking of communication, the other great invention would be the cell phone. It too has helped us yesterday, today, and will continue to help us in the future. Unfortunately, these two great inventions aren't so great when they're put together. According to Delthea Ricks in her article, Texting While Driving, Now Leading Cause of Death for Teen Drivers, on May 8, 2013, states that there have been 3,000 deaths per year just because of texting and driving. Because texting and driving is a major distraction, it should be avoided at all costs. So today, we'll look at the problem with texting and driving, the consequences, and what someone might do to stop their habit. I really want you, my audience, to finally acknowledge that texting and driving is a really dangerous issue. As a teenager myself, I know it's very tempting to pick up that phone and text while driving, but this hard evidence will tell you to do otherwise. The truth is, anytime your eyes are drawn off the road and onto something else, it's distracted driving. And according to the article, Driving While Intoxicated in 2013, it states that you are 23 times more likely to be in a car accident if you text and drive. According to the same site, it says that if you text and drive, your eyes are taken off the road for 5 seconds. Honestly, even a second of taking your eyes off the road could risk you, other drivers in the car, and other people on the streets. A person in my survey that I conducted on November 25th, 2013, actually said, "I almost hit a deer. I will never text and drive again." This is an example of someone who wasn't so lucky with texting and driving. A lot of people get the idea, well, all of my friends are doing it, and they never had to face any consequences, so why can't I? Well, what the problem is with this statement is that you're always going to be under different circumstances. And just because your friend didn't have to face any consequences doesn't mean that you won't have to when you text and drive. Honestly, the fact that you're putting yourself at risk shouldn't be taken lightly. And it only takes one accident to drastically change your life or even end it. A point that someone might argue is that they can multitask, and texting and driving is just another one of their examples. Well, they look up the road every few seconds, so it's alright, right? No, I can't stress enough that 1 second anything can happen. A person might start walking out in front of you, the car in front of you might abruptly stop, or a deer might come out in front of you as it did and change your perspective, just like it changed the perspective of the person in my survey. Now that we know the problem behind texting and driving, it's time to look at the consequences of this bad habit. According to Aditi Mukherjee in his article, Texting While Driving, 5 Potential Consequences, in 2013, states that there are 5 big consequences that can result from texting and driving. The first major consequence that can come is tickets. If you get caught texting and driving, you might receive a fine. In many states, it's actually a primary offense, and you can get to a fine of up to $300 or even higher on the first offense. Unfortunately, Nebraska's standpoint on texting and driving is that it's a secondary offense, which means that we can't get pulled over unless they have another reason to do so. Another consequence that can be a result of texting and driving is your driver's license points. If you get caught texting while driving, you can get points taken off, and if you get enough points taken off, you can get your driver's license either suspended or even revoked. The third consequence that can happen is your insurance. If you get caught, your insurance can go up just like that. The fourth consequence would be a criminal charge. If you were in a car accident and they find out that the reason behind the accident was texting and driving, you can face up to jail time. And if someone was in your car and they were seriously injured or even passed from the event, the driver can be charged with attempted or real vehicular manslaughter or homicide. Above all, the worst consequence that you can face is the guilt that you will have to live with for the rest of your life. According to Paul Bilodeau in the article, Massachusetts teen found guilty of texting while driving fatal crash on June 6, 2012, lets us meet one of the many suspects of texting and driving. This boy was texting while he ended up hitting and killing a middle-aged man and seriously injured his girlfriend. Now, he has to live with that guilt for the rest of his life, and he cannot take that back. What's really sad is the fact that most of the time when there's accidents like this, the only survivor is the one that was driving. Here there's innocent people walking or riding their bikes, and in a blink of an eye, their life is gone just because you wanted to text LOL. Now, we've seen the problem and the consequences with texting and driving, so it proposes the question, what can we do to solve this horrible habit? As I said earlier, I conducted a survey on November 25th, 2013, and I asked 3 questions. One of which was, have you ever texted while driving? The second one was, do you currently text while driving? And the third one, I just wanted to know some opinions about the subject. 11 out of 50 people said they have never texted while driving, leaving 39 other people, or 78%, that have. Of those 39 people, 17 of them have said they don't currently text and drive, which means that the other people, or 56%, still text and drive. One thing I noticed were the responses I got about the opinions on texting and driving. Of course, the people who have never texted while driving responded with answers such as it's stupid or it's really dumb. Well, one thing I noticed that was kind of funny was that the people who have texted and continue to text responded with the same answers. So we obviously know it's stupid, so why haven't we stopped? So this makes us ask the question, what can we do to stop this? According to 17's article in Turn Off Your Phone to Save Your Life in 2013, it says it takes just 2 seconds to turn off your phone, and that to solve texting and driving, the best way is to just turn the phone off. This is the best way because you might not always have that extra person in your car to answer it for you, or you might not have a convenient place to stop, or perhaps your car's not advanced enough to read it to you. So it's obviously the best way to stop this horrible habit. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you want to stop risking the lives of people on the street, yourself, and others in the car? Today, we looked at the problem with texting and driving, the consequences, and one potential solution to solve this problem. Now, that text from your boyfriend that says, I love you, or that text from a friend that asks, hey, you want to go out for supper, is not that important, and it can wait. As I've said before, there have been many great inventions throughout history, but perhaps the best invention was the ability to turn off your phone. Stay safe.